Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good first week back trading. This is my first full week. I kind of just testing the waters, really nothing too crazy. Actually, I wanted to do a video about kind of what I'm going to be, the plan for at least for the first, month of the year, maybe into February, of course. But as you know, I have a video out where I use ChatGPT to create an indicator. And well, I'll leave the rules for that video and the logic behind it, but it's pretty straightforward. Anyway, what I did was I took the indicator source code and I went into ChatGPT again, and I said, "Hey, take this indicator and convert it to a TradingView strategy." And basically what that allows you to do is backtest it. And also, well, I'll reveal actually what else you can do with it. But what I wanted to show was the performance of the indicator for this week. So this is the strategy here. And again, you can go look at the other video about the logic behind it. But essentially, now, I will also say is that I didn't take all these trades, so I'll talk about that here in a second. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about first was the performance of it, which the first week of the year. Actually, let me make sure that I'm in the right. I don't know why I can't. It's not allowing me to choose the date, so I just have to pick the last 7 days, which. Let's see. Okay, it would have worked. So basically from the 4th through Friday the 9th. That's what we're capturing here. So, okay. So you can see January 4th, it took a winning trade. January 5th, it took a winning trade. The 6th again, the 6th. So 3 trades on the 6th, 2 trades on the 7th. And a loss on the 8th, loss on the 9th, and then a win on Friday. Basically, the strategy took the source code, and it just converted it to a strategy, of course. And what that allows you to do is update the parameters, so you can kind of tweak things. And what I noticed, originally I had been trading this with a 21 EMA. So I parameterized the EMA so that I can adjust it. So I optimized it. I noticed in some of the backtesting that the 15, excuse me, was performing better than the 21 with this property set, this ATR multiplier set to that value. And then also I added another filter, which is basically it's a slope look back. So it's looking at the slope within 5 bars. And it's basically just applying a filter based upon the slope of the EMA. And so I just basically just have that one filter applied. I have another filter, but I'm not using it. Anyway, the other thing that I added was the ability for to track the times that I'm allowed to take trades. So basically the strategy would only execute within these particular sessions. And I predefined the session times to be basically the macros, right? So 7:50 p.m. to 8:30 p.m., 8:50 p.m. to 9:30, and so on and so forth. And, so it just as an example, so if we just only took the trades within the first macro, you would see the performance would just be one trade during the week. It would be a winner. So that's kind of how that works. And let me re-enable. So you can really gauge, how the performance would have been based upon the sessions that you traded. And so anyway, kind of interesting. The really interesting thing though is looking at, and this is just 1 week, right? So what, right? So if we do the last year of data, we can really get a sense for how this indicator performs. So pretty good, almost 70%. The drawdown, I guess you can can see that's a little high, maybe. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. But it took over 1 trade a day. So, and it's got a pretty smooth equity curve, right? Or profit curve here over the last 365 days. So anyway, kind of interesting stuff. Also too, I wanted to mention that I did take my last video, I said I have another entry model, which is the bullish, bullish, or bearish, bearish 3-stick candlestick pattern. I actually converted that into a strategy as well. And that's how this one performed this week. Again, I didn't take all of these trades, but really good performer. And it also has some extra parameters, basically the same or similar. Oops, that's the wrong one. Excuse me, here. Basically the same EMA. So I'm using the 15 EMA. And this one has got some different filters that I apply. It's essentially the same concept. It's got a slope, looking at the EMA slope, and then also the sessions that it trades. So if I re-enable session 1 and we update the report, you can see it's not very good. So right away I know I don't want to run these signals in that 8 p.m. Tokyo Open session time. So that's the value in having these. You can really dig into the details and get a sense for, you know, performance, and maybe stay out of certain times. And that's certainly what I'm going to do with this. So anyway, if we look back at the last 365 days for this indicator, you can see it's quite choppy in the first quarter. But then at the last Q3 and Q4, it really starts to perform much better. And I wonder if I re-add the session, that initial session, see what happens. Yeah, kind of similar, 57%. So not quite as good as my EMA 21, which was the stop AR plus EMA 21 that I've changed the 21 EMA to a 15, basically. But this one here, what I've noticed is it doesn't really perform well in the first session. And I think it's basically a midnight trade. So let me do that. Yeah, it's a little bit better. So basically this indicator here, the 3-bar pattern, performs much better at the 12 a.m. macro on gold with these take profit and stop loss settings. So I think if I added 1 or 2, I can't remember. Yeah, that macro doesn't work very well with this strategy. I forget which one it was. Let's see if this one works better. 62. So, okay. So that's what it was. Much better. We got a 62% win rate, much better equity curve, especially in the second half of the year for last year. And it was kind of choppy in the beginning through Q1. But basically staying out of the Tokyo Open and only trading the 10 p.m. macro. So this is 9:50 to 10:30, and then trading midnight open or midnight to 1 a.m. So, but that said, what I might do is expand this sessions list, and it just kind of helps you determine, you know, those optimal sessions to trade within for that candlestick pattern. But over the last 7 days, this has really been a pretty good performer. So interesting stuff. We'll see how it goes. The plan is to automate it. And actually I did automate this. Basically what I did was I have a 50K MF, what is it? My Funded Futures. That's what it is. It's a My Funded Futures core account, 50K, that let's see here. Let's log out of this one. We'll log into that core account. and I was up 1% and I lost it all basically. So we're just gonna we're gonna hook up these two indicators, or excuse me, these two strategies to this account. And what I'm gonna do basically is use this website here, which is called Pick My Trade. And the first week, I guess, is free. So I actually hooked it up and I let it run. So basically what you do is, it's really cool. You generate an alert based upon the strategy, and it creates code for you. So if we look at, for example, the stop AR, you just set it up with the parameters that you want, and you click generate alert, and it will basically gives you this code, which is just a bunch of JSON. So you copy the code, and you then go and you create an alert off of that strategy. You just go here, add alert, which I've already done, so I'm not going to do it again. But it's basically this alert here, excuse me, stop AR, and you just copy and paste that code here into the message box. And you have to set up two-factor authentication and a webhook, which is really simple. It creates the URL, the webhook URL for you, and you just copy and paste that in there, and you just enable it. So when you enable it, it's really cool, because what it does is, this is stop AR, is it's going to use the alerts that fire based upon the strategy that's enabled. So essentially all of these session times that I pick, it's only going to run within these times. So it's really cool. Pretty slick stuff. I don't have to sit here in front of the chart and miss trades. It actually executes the trades for you with the order size that you want, that you set up on it. So pretty cool stuff. Anyway, like I said, I'm gonna run these two strategies on the 50K core account this week, or this coming week, and I'm not going to touch it. Just going to let it do its thing, and what we're going to find out is how it relates, or how well it relates to the performance metrics that are coming up in it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to compare week by week, so this is the previous week. We're going to do the same thing next Saturday, and see where we're at. So anyway, that's all I got for this week. Hopefully you're doing well, and I really appreciate you tuning in. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care.